Tonight, Benjamin Netanyahu back on the ballot and hoping to take back power. Today's election offering him a chance to regain the office he lost just over a year ago, when a coalition of opposition parties united to bring an end to his latest 12-year reign as prime minister. But that coalition collapsed this summer, triggering yet another election and a chance for a Netanyahu comeback. That prospect dividing the country and the voters we met.
I feel that his time's up.
People are saying, I'm tired of Netanyahu, let's vote for somebody else. They don't actually want a Jewish country in the same way that I see it.
Netanyahu, a candidate, but also a defendant, on trial right now for criminal corruption, accusations he denies. In his ambition, Netanyahu has made what some Israelis see as a deal with the devil, an election pact with Israel's extreme right.
Netanyahu's allies, the far-right Jewish Power Party, are holding a rally here in Tel Aviv tonight. But across the street, there are dozens of anti-racist protesters who have gathered to demonstrate against them.
Most polls show far-right parties winning 10% of the seats this election, seats that Netanyahu will surely need to form a coalition government. Their surge partly a response to an Arab party entering Israel's ruling coalition last year, a first in Israeli history. In return for the far-right's support, Netanyahu says he's prepared to give a cabinet post to this man, Jewish Power's leader, Itamar Ben-Gvir. Ben-Gvir was convicted in magistrate's court 15 years ago for inciting racism and supporting a terrorist group while carrying anti-Arab signs at a protest. His spokesman insists he's changed.
He's become one of Israel's most influential, most successful trial attorneys, defense attorneys. He's become a civil rights attorney. And yeah, as a kid, as a young man, he faced a charge.
You say as a kid, this is 2007. He was a grown man by then.
Still in his 20s.
So what are you saying? He's changed? He's not the man he was when he was convicted for racism?
That's what he says.
Ben-Gvir was 31 at the time of his conviction. Last month, he pulled a gun in a confrontation with Palestinians, he says in self-defense. Netanyahu's opponents say his deal will give the far right control of the government.
I don't want to even think about it.
Mirav Michaeli is a cabinet minister and a leader of the center-left Labour Party.
It is going to be so harmful for Israel if we have such extreme right-wing people in cabinet, in government.
Okay, Raf, the polls we know closed there just a couple of hours ago. I want to go back to something that we saw there in your report. What exactly is the status of Netanyahu's corruption trial?
It's ongoing. So Netanyahu is both a candidate to be prime minister and a defendant in a criminal corruption trial. It's something that his opponents say totally disqualifies him. His supporters say it is a witch hunt. And some of his political allies have suggested that if he gets back into power, they will find a way to retroactively give him immunity and effectively cancel this trial, which critics say would be a major blow to the idea that no one in Israel is above the law. Tom?
And Raf, it's actually similar to something we talked about earlier in the night when it comes to Brazil. I do want to ask you, though, what are his chances of becoming prime minister? And what would that mean for the relationship with the U.S. going forward?
So the exit polls are suggesting he could be back in, albeit with a very, very narrow majority. This is being watched extremely closely in Washington, Tom. A lot of people are very concerned, not so much about Netanyahu coming back as prime minister, but coming back with the support of the far right, putting far right ministers into his cabinet. The State Department told us it is up to Israeli voters to choose who their government is. But if they do get into the cabinet, the Biden administration is going to have some tough choices of its own, including will they sit down with these people who have such a long history of racism and extremism? Tom?
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.